Welcome. I've got to give credit where credit is so overdue. This is the UK, you guys. UK, y'all. This is Carl Manning in the UK who does he finds, I think as a result of just me, and of course we have John Guy, who's not far from him either, who does just an unbelievable job. So a shout out to John as well, but I talk about John all the time. But so Carl Manning. So here's energy overload. You can see Carl's videos and pictures. It just does for us. That's it. This is the UK. There is some outstanding people doing this in the UK now. I used to get messages that would say, "Mark, thank you so much for doing what you do. We don't have Bigfoot in the UK." Excuse me. And I say, "Oh yes, you do." Okay, forgive me. I had to clear my throat. Now watch. Check this out. I can't even react to this without sounding immature. Look at this spot. It's too good. When you do what I do, you guys, when you can read this the way I can, it takes less than a second for everything to register. This is too good. It's too good. This is in the UK. I'm seeing things. I did this little mouse thing before I recorded over. Look at this spot. So we have so many people in the UK that are doing this now, and there's not like one of them. You guys, I'm not kidding. That doesn't do an unbelievable, incredible job. It makes me look good. These guys are so good. Carl, thank you for your pictures and your videos. I just can't thank you enough. All right, so I really should have filmed this conversation. This is Steve. He doesn't believe this was an accident, and neither do I. His dogs are awesome. I pull in, this guy's here, right? I should have filmed the whole thing. I should have put it all on camera. This guy has me all the way down here. I'm freezing. At this point, he's just a regular guy to me. They look right in here. They do all their structures around this little clump. When I say live in there, I don't believe it's live in there. But this is where they'll actually come out. So to us, you know why we think that is because, like, if a rabbit goes in a hole, we know he lives right there. If they go in the hole, I think we kind of just by default assumed that's what happened. I believe it's a much more complicated than that. Maybe not in some cases, but in others, yes. So Steve, you guys, this is crazy. Look, these are our footprints. I'm freezing. He's got me all the way down there. He's telling me about how he's showing me where I zoom in. Right? I zoom to this. This is a special corridor up there they come out with staffs and literally stare at me, right? And he's telling me about how he's been up there, about how this is before he knows anything about me. I'm just some person on this road. And then he shows me this rock. He's got to show me this rock, how this is the exact rock. He goes, Mark, none of this is an accident. Now, he doesn't know I do this. He just thinks I'm some dude, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, as he's telling me about it there, I'm like, this guy, he's telling me how significant all of that. He goes, Mark, I was up there. I've been here for 30 years. How significant up there is, and that it's all been built by like ancient people. And I was like, I go, Steve, that's amazing. I'm not telling him anything yet. Because I'm thinking, it's just not worth it. I'm like, if I could tell this guy what's really there, because he's all over it. This guy has got something going on with him, but has never been introduced, right? So I think we're getting Steve. I think Steve's going to come in energy overload. At very minimal, very least, he's going to come out with me next summer. This is a guy that we're going to watch, okay? So he's been out here on his own anyway, and he starts telling me about these unique experiences. He shows me videos of a vortex he filmed in the water. There's no blur or anything. He told me how he watched a rock, a being turned into a rock, and this is him telling me this stuff without knowing anything about me. Like, he doesn't know that I'm going to embrace this. In fact, the chances would be I'm going to reject this. But this is the most magical place on earth, right? I don't think it was an accident that I just met Steve, you guys. And I'm going to put him on the camera for you, and you're going to meet him. In fact, I know that's the first thing he said to me. When I finally said I said, look, I'm going to tell you who I am in a second, but please keep telling me this story. Because I wasn't going to say anything until he got to the point, not that I'm like Brad Pitt, but just like that I have a background in this, who I am, type of thing. It's It's right there. This is, so he's talking about this thing. You can't see what he's explaining all kinds of amazing things. Then he mentions back there. And you can get up there. It just takes a long time. And he looks at me, he's like, why? He was the most receptive person. He listened to every word. I got him in my car. He's sitting on my junk mail. So anyway, he's going to come out with me because this guy knows these forests and has had. So here's this guy. Here's the moral of the story. He's been right here for 30 years. And for 30 years has been experiencing unbelievable things. Like all around him. Like things where he had to take his headsets off. Like things where he's been spoken to. Things where, like, he has so many stories. Like, he's like, you're probably not going to believe this. And I look at him like, are you kidding? That's the only thing I want to hear from your mouth. Don't ever tell me something that I'm going to believe. That's not what I said, but that's what I was thinking. Because, again, you have no idea who you're talking to. Please tell me the story. I didn't say that, but I'm thinking this. Like, this guy has no idea how much I'm going to believe him. No one just says this shit to some guy on a dirt road. That's what people have to understand. Okay? You don't just say this stuff. Look at this look up. This is ADD, but look at it. It's so pretty. It's not too big either. I like that it's not too big. Look, all here. It's all these guys. So fascinating. So me and Steve hung out for at least a half an hour, right? He took this in. Like, so I gave him a crash course in X's structures, what to look for. I said, you got to come out. I said, Steve, people want to come from other countries. They beg me to let them come, and I'm begging you. Just let me bring you out for half a day, and I will change your entire life. I said, only for the reason that I want to hear what that day has done to you. So from a year from that day, or whatever, even a few months, I want to hear why, how good, what has changed with you, because he knows it all. It's one little trick, guys. He already knows it all. He's already spanned every square inch, places further than I've even been, which is almost impossible because he's had 30 years to do it. So once I show him my tricks, things that will click in him that he didn't think were possible, places, events, things that have happened, I'll be like, oh my God, I have to go back to this place. I just thought about it. Things like that are going to happen to him. It's going to be, his life will change dramatically. All right, a little more snow than I wanted. Look at this, you guys. Danny sent me. Danny, thank you. Look at this thing. I just got it in the mailbox. So he probably told me, but I remember talking to him. So I just want to hear what. But for now, I'm using it. So I had just left right before this. I just left him a message because it just came from the post office, and this was I want to play his message. I hope he doesn't mind. I don't think Danny will. After hearing him, but he's got this great voice. I just wanted to hear. I wanted him to explain how old, like how that he made this for me. So that's why I just wanted to have you hear his message real quick.
Well, what you got there is a stick I've had for about 4 or 5 years. It's a persimmon tree that's probably been growing for about 50 years because of a honeysuckle that was twisted around it. And I had to dig all the honeysuckle out and hand sand all of it down and multiple burnt with torches and sand some more to ensure the weathering.
So how cool is that and nice of Danny? Danny, thank you so much. These are just a couple shots from his forest. I'm assuming that's his son. And you could, I didn't get his permission on that, but you couldn't see enough to, I didn't think he'd mind. It was just, they're too good. So Danny, thank you. Hopefully you didn't mind me throwing your voice. You have too good of a voice not to put on. And just how kind you are and thoughtful to have sent that to me. Thank you so much. So this was just an unplanned moment. I'm walking into where I saw him on his seat. It's on video. We locked eyes, a Bigfoot sitting in a seat. And there was all kinds of like invisible entities around him that you could see on the camera. This guy looked just like anybody else. He jumps up and then he realizes like he's like on feet. I can see him, and then he pretends like he's a bear, and he's running, and it doesn't look right at all. He's not doing a good job. Look at the end of those rocks. So that's all. I just take you to this tree and back real quick. There's a bunch of different stuff in the video. Let's go. Here, I'm just trying to get up to these. See, this is where I'm looking. This is where these guys are. No snow by their rocks. Moved rocks. Rocks that are missing. Big piles of boulders in this super fight sun that site that nothing's been ever done. I love the feeling of cold snow going down the tongue of my shoe. It feels great. Now, in the past, this is real quick. In the past here, this is the most active place that I go to. I'm going to say in the world, but that I go to until it snows. Like, in fact, the V tree, when I've literally had, that's on video when you guys have all seen where I'm standing there looking right at him, was the day before it snowed for the first time in November, like 4 years ago. And then that was it. And then you come back here and it's just like nothing's going on, you know, and then you might get one set of footprints over here. And then everything changes in the snow. They just don't come out as much, which does fall into common sense quite a bit for me. But I like to think of them outside of that. But I think it does bother them, not to mention the evidence it leaves behind. Give me a minute. Well, let's look at these structures. Thanks, Danny. This is really coming in handy. Hope I'm not messing it up. Get here and there's all kinds of footprints. See, I don't think they just want to do this either. I really don't think they just walk around in the snow. I'm surprised I did this, but I had to check. The structures are incredible. It's too deep. There's almost a foot of snow here. Well, there's a new X up there. Nothing on the seat. Not even before. I can see all footprints. You guys, I think I see footprints. I can't show them to you, but where it looks like it was them. There's an X right there. I'm freezing. Here's the seat. You'd never know it, except for all these. And this tree is something super special. Nothing around it. This is an extremely active place that doesn't look active in my terms after a foot of snow at all. The day I saw and filmed him get up from his seat after I had already been to the seat, and then I came back, which is the most bizarre part, right? I get that they made a mistake, like that he didn't realize I was there, or he didn't think I was coming back that way. But the fact that I was just there and came back and then he was there is the hardest part. Anyway, this happened. This is what happened when I was out just to the left of where I'm showing you right now, right here. And I'm about, I don't know, a quarter of a mile to my left in this forest, this particular forest right here. And that's where this little guy happened. I have this picture much better, but in the interest of time, I just found the zoomed in version. But this is all real. And there seems to be a scale out there that mimics like what large ones look like, but they are small. And, you know, but then again, I'll turn around and go see a big one with my own eyes. It's one of the most confusing things I have ever done in my life these last 8 years. Exciting as well. So, oh, and see these guys? I wanted to show you how these little guys will even tie up what you would think would be a blade of grass into a system that will help hide them. Animal-wise, on the outside of the forest, big time, but not in it. Look at all their leaners going up to that magic tree. The seat's right there. One of the biggest seats I've ever seen. I was coming this way on 8K video. I was filming in 8K, see him, and he jumps up and runs away. Oh, here's footprints. Oh, it's actual footprints, I think. Oh, there's all kinds of prints, you guys. I can't tell. It's from before the last snow. This is all disturbed in here. There's X's everywhere up there. There's the tree. There's the seat right there. My hand that's holding the camera is frozen. That's the seat. There's nothing on it. what happens in the snow? And then one of these guys will come out and walk through the snow at some point for some reason. But it's not happening a lot. All right, so let's just talk a little crazy for a second. I got to pause the picture, okay? You know, you would think people, let's let it go. You would think people would want to hear things that they're not ready to hear. Like, you're not ready to hear this. Like, really? Try me. You know, it's like, but, you know, people immediately reject. Like, they don't really want to know. You know, it's like there's only certain people, like most of the people listening to me, that have always been that way. Just ask yourself. You've always had this little inkling. You know, you might not have thought about it every day, but like throughout your life, there was different times watching a movie or being in the backyard. You know, there was always this inkling or this incredible wonder. You cannot deny it because I know you're exactly like me. And that's what you're doing here. It's just I don't know why it's a certain amount of people. You know, there could be a million different reasons why. We could be wanted. It could be, you know, we're just connected. Everything is one. We are all the product of something, okay? I'm not going to preach. So give me a minute. Let me finish this clip and then let me explain where a lot of these guys are in the snow. Because it's like dead. There's one guy here. I had to get out there. I was freezing because I did this without planning on it. All right, I have no idea what I say beyond this point. Let's not find out. So there's an amazing magic going on. It's something I usually don't mention in my videos because people they're not receptive enough. Like, I think most of the people, but you know, I'm putting this also out there. And so we catch them a lot, even in the summer, it's happening. So there's these other, it's not a dimension. I mean, maybe it is. They seem to look out of these windows. They're using the trees here. They're always in these trees. Now, especially these old ones, like these big giant, I think they're inside of trees that we wouldn't think were hollow, or there's something to it. They're attached to them. They are real close to them. We find them up in these. I find that some of these, like that tree I was at today, like if you climb up there in the sun, no matter how cold it is, it's just beautiful. Like up in there, these trees just absorb this beautiful heat. Anyway, we find them up. I think people need to start look. So I'm not going to go into details yet, but you really need to start looking up and into these trees. There's an incredible magic. They break into our matrix, basically, is what's happening. We are in a matrix. I'm here to tell you, a version of one. We might not understand. It's not the movies. They're in well, now remember, there's many different. These are the sophisticated ones I'm talking about. There's many different situations here. So you can't really argue, because don't argue with someone in this because there's just so much going on. There's so many. So even though a lot of them might be together, there's some of them are different, and there's just different situations in different places. And there's I use like levels of sophistication because there might not be so much, but you know, in a sense, yes, there is. There's more human-like, and then it goes down like more of like people, you know, and then it goes down a little bit to more of like, you know, storybook type stuff. Believe me, that stuff's out there. You know, I think even that storybook stuff is, believe it or not, I think these are beings. Let me say something bold here. Believe it, that could have been you. These are children of God. You could have been born into one of these bodies. This is just a different life. You know, I think one told me, it might have been in my imagination, but he said out there, I said, "Who are you?" And he's like, "We are you." Meaning, like, you know, in another, like, some other life, like you went on, or before or after, or, you know, just putting that out there. I'm not claiming this. Just something to think about. You're in an avatar now. Who's to say you're not in one? I'm not talking about reincarnation. But all of these people that come back from death will tell you this. Almost all of them tell you this. That you move on. You go on to this other. You're here to learn, and you realize that it's not just this earth. This is just one little stepping stone. Right there. You Go there, they'll just come out, especially for the camera. It's amazing. I'm really considering you guys sneaking in there because it's private property and there's no other way. Remember when I say private property, so would that be illegal? Yes, technically. It's not. There's a fee. That's all it is. Just trespassing is a fee. You just have to pay $200 to do it if you get caught. That's all it is. Especially out here, it's not like, you're not, they know, I'm different trespassing. There's no, like, suspicious activity. Once you investigate, you'll know exactly why I'm there. Even if you watch enough of a video, you'll be like, all right, this guy's harmless. He's not there to hurt us. So would I get away with it? Yes. Would I pay the fine? Probably. But it's just, once in a while, there's places that can't be ignored, and it's the earth is ours, and they need to be recognized, and I'll never get to them without sneaking. See, it's all this guy's property right here. Or I've been wanting to try to find out who he is, and is there a way I can leave him a message? Is there a way I can call this guy and just be completely honest with him? Just be like, look, man, this is who I am. This is what I do. Trust me in this. I just want to go. I just need permission for your property. With a camera, I promise to leave it better than it was before I got there. And I need to. This isn't one day, by the way. This is 6 months. I mean, I got to get in there. You guys, I promise you, it's good. I completely forgot about this. Is today. The day I'm making the video. You'll probably see this tomorrow. And this guy cuts me off completely. He just literally cuts me. He sees me in plenty of time, but decides he's not going to stop. Look at this guy. He doesn't really. He just thinks it's like a common fail. Like on camera. Baddest ass. It's solid ice. Like if I didn't have full drive, like I could have smashed right into him. Not as a common person that can't drive. So, and he sees the camera and everything. Like, this guy is just a real. I'm road raging a little bit. Not really. Like, what, and now he's holding me up and everyone behind the guy behind me. Road raging at all. I don't understand dumb people. I can show you with the snow, but you guys try to look. It's going to go by quick. Right here, I've always watched it. It's getting better and better, too. This is the base of the ski mountain at Beaver Creek. They do structures right in this forest. Right in there. And big piles. Look at that pile. There's like a big hut in there. Look, there's another one. They're not being made by people, guys. There's not even access in there. You would never go in there. It's all by the ski mountain. Another one right there. They all are in there. So I was just thinking, this is not why I turned it on. So this is the Weston. You guys have really wanted to dig it. The gondola goes right out the Weston. So I was thinking to myself, so there's a parking lot before this, and it's all the shuttle buses. And I just had this image, like, what if I just started working today? I just quit everything and got a great job with the ski mountain and was starting tomorrow. And I kind of pictured myself, like, I'm like, man, I'm so out. Like, that would be so weird because I'm really have worked myself, like, into this subject where it's really kind of bizarre to step back into I'm driving around in the real world, but like to go back into real life, like all of a sudden, like I just stopped doing this and I was working tomorrow full time, like I don't know, make up a job, shuttle bus driver at Beaver Creek. Guys make like $20, 23 an hour. It's not enough money. I wouldn't do that because I need to make more money than that. But that was I couldn't do it. Like, I'm not, you guys, that's why people are like, you have this great job, why haven't you gone back? Because it doesn't matter. Don't you get it? What people say is, like, it's true. Like, so I've found something that I know I'm supposed to do. This is all leading down some path. And it doesn't matter how good the job is. That's the human brainwashing. That's all we care about is success. That's how we measure each other. Don't you think that's a little bit, like, wrong? That we're all guilty of it. We measure each other based on success, typically. And I don't know, it's just kind of I think there's something wrong there. I'm so used to it, I'm okay with it, but I think there's something wrong there. Good morning. I just want to show you what it looks like out here. I might be making a non-traditional video today, like a little bit of everything, a little showing you around. Like currently, I might do a couple of little clips. I might do talking. So I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit. That's what I like about me. I'm not like everyone else. This is a different subject. I apply this in very layman's terms and just without trying to add any BS into it. Like I'm not going to do like a 5-minute intro. It's just, I think it's a waste of time. I can do that stuff pretty good actually. The reason I'm filming this, I want to show you. Let's see. Look at their spot. I haven't done this in a long time. Now, I wish the windshield was a little cleaner, but it's actually clean, but it's 23 degrees right now. But I want to show you this. This is why I'm doing this. Look at their spot across the street. When there's snow on it, you got to see the angles and stuff. See all this stuff? It's kind of like hidden in there. Look at that. When it snows, it's amazing to see. She's out of her. She's lost her mind over here, Lee. She's just like your Bigfoot's this. Whatever they do, it's my fault. She has to blame somebody. For 40 years I've been over there. This has never happened until you got here. She told me. So, was that true? In other words, were they just letting me know? I think so. I'm not sure. I think they were always there. There's tridents that are 40, 50 years old there. There's 7 tridents right in there. And here, give me a second. Keep in mind, this isn't why I do this. I just happened to move here, and then this all happened. Think about it. It's a crazy thing. I've been trying to process it since I've been here, and I just blow it off, because in a way. But look. Oh man, you got to see how squatchy this is, or whatever the word is. I can't get it to come out right through the windshield. Now watch. You see these sticks here? Like how they put those 3 in front? The whole thing is just bizarre. It's all gray and black today, so it's hard to see the angles. Man, is that special over there, you guys. Now, what's the holdup? You know what I mean? Let's see if I can get a better shot like this. Not many people can film a video like a structure like that, like an entire environment driving down the driveway. I'm just trying to make myself feel better today. Now you can see those trees I'm talking about. They just became like that a month or 2 ago. Where I don't know even what they became like. Where you'd notice these 3 trees out in front. So I'm cutting in. This is me getting home today. I have not seen it. I'm just going to leave it in because I know I was it was seeing pareidolia, or it was weird, and I walk over there. Little bummer I don't have my camera. Did he just leave? What is that? That has never been there before. Is that one of them? There's a round white ball, and I see black behind it. I just turned. I was I whistled, and as I did that, I saw there's an X there too by that ball. Right there. You see that X? Follow the ball to the left, there's an X. Oh, I see a face below the ball. What is up with that? I think it's just pareidolia looking, but I want to see it. It's weird that there's a white thing there. Man, what they've been doing over here is crazy. Even the owners are like, what are your people doing? I was like, what do you mean? They're across the street. I was like, I don't know. I don't answer any questions to regular people. Seriously, when someone like that, anyone asks me around here, how that pile got there, I have no idea. Just one pile of topsoil. When she's like, what are they doing? I'm like, I don't know. I'll never give them any information. I just want to get closer to this ball thing. There's all kinds of water. It's flooded. In the summer, I can walk in here, but look at that. I showed this morning as I was pulling out. It's real dark and gray. Now I don't see the round ball. Do you? Where is it? It's hard with a cell phone. You can't tell what's what. Is that? Okay, so that's... should be right there. Oh, where am I seeing? Oh. Sorry about that, you guys. There. Oh, that's what I was seeing, that thing. There's something up with that right there. I've never seen that. I've never shown that to you. See that? Remember, think small. Tiny. Think about things you don't... You guys, I stare over here every single day. I'm just having trouble, like, what's being suspended? There's like another piece of wood in there or something pretending to be wood in there. I'm telling you, like, I have this real thing with them. Like, they come over, the animals tell me, they're all around me, and I can't. I think I am gonna make progress across the street. Like, I get things happen. I'll be like, what was that? I'll turn around, like, as I'm opening the gate, like, they're like, something happens over here. This is kind of their view to me. Whatever. No, I don't even know. I did some kind of whistle, and that quickly, I mean, I just glanced and I saw what looked like a round white thing, and then I saw darkness behind it. Interesting. So whether that's anything, probably. It's these others, you guys, they're inside these trees. There's that video. There's a video where some tree people, like in some other country, they cut this tree open way up in the forest, and right inside of the tree was one of these guys. Like some monster was like in the tree. I'm not kidding. Over now. Look at that environment. That's incredible, you guys. I'd give anything for people to see that the way I know it. As you know, I don't spend. There's a trident. See the tridents? There's one right there, and there's one right. It's right there, but it's behind them. And they knocked that over last year. I'm not sure. You know, the more I stare at that tree, it's right in their spot. But I think it might have fell over naturally, actually. There's something different than there's these little ones that live in these clumped, like, I don't know if they live in there, but when I walk by, they'll go into these clumped bushes. Oh yeah, I want to check this one spot. I think the beaver did it right here. It really looks like this. You know, this is what I come into the woods for. That's an. Tell me what you think this is. I've really looked at it. I don't think it's a shadow or a gap. It seems to be covering sticks. It's right there. Remember to always do the math. So no matter what it may seem, there's a floating X suspended with some black thing next to it. Okay, much to my surprise, actually, because this was a chilly morning, I think this is one of my guys. Notice how there's an X, like, right at his neck. I believe, you can see an ear. I think this is one of them. He's right there using the beaver as cover, is what he's doing. I never see the beaver. Although I see the wood. Like, that was done, like, 2 years ago. But this is their spot back in there. I go in there, but man, it's hard as a person. Are those cut with a beaver? I don't think they are cut with a beaver. You guys, did they do this? Yeah, it's a beaver right there. That's a beaver did that a long time ago, right there. But that one's an X. It's up in the air and it's an X. Right back there. I find that interesting. But it's all beaver. Remember, this is my furnace, I apologize. Remember, it's so loud. Isn't it loud? This is how it works. Even me. I'm like, oh, it was probably the beaver. They use cover. It's so easy to fool us because all we need is an answer. There's a whole network of like beavers near, and then here I show you on the cell, let's show you on the good camera. And then I just, when I saw this, I couldn't believe it. It's a trident X, you guys. But it's done, here, so it doesn't look quite as perfect. But look, it's a field gold and a V tree trident X. The day I saw that, I was like, wow. Now, what does that mean? Like, where do I go? Like, is that for the mountains back there? I think so, because there's nothing in between. There's nothing there. All their sticks are down in front, and that just appeared there one day. Something happening right here. It's everywhere. It's all along the water here. This is a river right behind here. And it's not just right here, it's everywhere on this river. For miles and miles and miles, like 10, 20 miles. They're just all around the river. And they just live under it or like on it, or they are it. I mean, it's something like that. So, look, I don't like to touch on this too much. A little bit I want to show. People are interested. Mark, I haven't seen across the street. Then I saw this one day. This all happened in one day. See this right here? Could be wind related, I don't think so. Like, why didn't it happen 100 years ago? It's all happening now. It's all field gold bent. I can't film it too great because I'm going down the road, you guys. This is a ranger. Yeah. Just, and you'll notice any manipulation. So let's just say any tree that has fallen down from weather is bizarrely strange looking. There's not one normal looking one. Nothing really blows over here because of weather. It's these trees and bushes have been conditioned to live in this environment since the beginning of time. They just don't. Most trees fall over because of humans. Like, that's why you'll see one in like the middle of your town. It's a result of roads and construction and pipes and sewers. And out here, things don't blow over. It just doesn't happen. It would have to die, and then even when it dies, it can stay there for 20, 30 years. It's really amazing that people think things just blow over. That's the spot. I want to go. I want to take you out there. I got to get out there to that spot. There's a ranger right there. Where's he going? He might be going home because he lives right. He's my neighbor, but I'm looking. I want to meet him. Oh, that's the spot. I want to take you there. I'll take you there. Let me try to get a couple timestamps in there. You got to see this, you guys. This is, well, you're seeing it, but look. Now look carefully. See the leaners? Look how everything is crazy looking. It all just happened. And then look, I'll show you. So this will be public. I want people to know. I'm not worried. I don't have to protect these guys. like I saw this on a video. I'm going to go to that place where Mark showed. Be my guest, please. And if you figure something out, let me know. Because you can't put these guys in danger. These guys can take care of themselves. You're not going to find them, see them. That they're protected somehow. I'm not worried about it at all. So where we are is Brush Creek. I just wanted to explain to people why I'm explaining where I am, where I usually don't. Because it's I think it adds something to my videos because I never show you. So we're at this is brand new, right? Brush Creek Valley Ranch open space. Now it does get used, but just lightly. I don't think a lot of people know about it. It's brand new. They just made this parking lot. They didn't really announce anything. And this is the field over here with that each tree has a leaning trident on. Every section has a leaning trident, and then you get back in here, and it's really interesting. And now this is a public trail. There's even a porta-john they put back there. Dogs must be on a leash, so that excludes most of you. I'm kidding. Did he just call us dogs? Yes, I did. Okay, I did. Oh no, my window's frozen. Of course I did not. Please. I care about people more than most people to care about people. I just need to. This is real good, you guys. Right here in public. I've realized it's not really public. I've realized that, see that guy, he can pretend there's a face there. That's what they do. They're just part of the environment. They get a tree, they get a thing. He has X's in front of them, and they'll just be standing there, wrapped up somehow. These guys can walk right across a field invisible. I'm having trouble with that. So I'm thinking about it's a little bit chilly, right? It's really early in the morning and I have to drive an hour to my, 45 minutes to my post office each way. But I want to show you this. You got to see this section, and people are just walking by it. I don't know how close the trail is once you're there, but damn, what's that? What is that? I can see it with my eyes too. There's a little bit. Why does it have to look like there's an eye? Look at the squatchville. You guys, you got to understand, there's nothing here like this. Okay, our trees aren't different than yours. Look, every tree just should look like this. That's the way trees look. When you see them looking like that, they have their hand in it. It's part of them. Okay, look at the leaner out there, you guys. It's field gold into that thing over there. They probably are up there in these invisible platforms. Right here in public, these people are walking on that trail and they'll walk right by them. They'll just be all right there. Wait